You're watching SEC football presented by Sonic. On a glorious day in Norman, Oklahoma, you're looking at OU Memorial Stadium. The Sooner Schooner is on hand. That means we are just moments away from Oklahoma playing host to Kent State. The Flash is looking for their second win of the season. Oklahoma hoping to stretch this out to 5-0, the fifth-ranked team in America. Kickoff just a few moments away. The 163rd consecutive sellout. A glorious day to be in Norman. Dave Neal alongside former Texas Longhorn running back Fozzie Whitaker. Morgan Uber down on the sidelines. We'll visit with her in just a moment. But Fozzie, let's go back 1 year ago. I mean, things were not looking good for this Oklahoma football team. There just seemed to be injury after injury. And, well, here we are a year later. They're ranked 5th in the country, and they look like a team that certainly has a chance to compete for an SEC championship and beyond. What's going on right now?
Yeah, ultimately, Coach Venables has brought in belief and confidence to this football team. That's been evident through the first 4 games of the season. You see ranked wins against Auburn. You see ranked win against Michigan. That's the type of Oklahoma team that Brent Venables wanted to field this year.
Well, he certainly kept some important pieces from last year's team, brought in some new ones, including John Mateer, who was certainly a guy that was at the head of the list in terms of a Heisman Trophy. Well, he's going to be out for a while. How long, we don't know. Broken hand suffered 2 weeks ago against the Auburn Tigers. They say it's about a month recovery. Something tells me it might be a little bit sooner for Mr. Mateer, but time will only tell. That means that certainly things will change in the quarterback room, but not having him, what does that mean?
Yeah, he's been playing at an elite level. You talked about the front runner for the Heisman Trophy. He throws the ball extremely well, takes care of it, and then obviously utilizes his legs. He's a main part of the reason why Oklahoma is sitting undefeated right now.
And here come the Sooners. And that is the guy that will run the show, at least this week, maybe next week, who knows, but today is his day. Michael Hawkins Jr. got some starts last year when Jackson Arnold was hurt. It's a new season. It's a new Michael Hawkins Jr. What can we expect from him?
Yeah, well, he gained a ton of experience in his time playing last year and even this year playing against Temple earlier in the season. What I love about Michael Hawkins Jr. is his ability to be able to make plays. And what I mean by that is if a play breaks down, he utilizes his legs, but then has the wherewithal to keep his eyes downfield, the big arm and the arm strength to get it downfield to stretch it vertically. And then whenever you need him to make a play for that football team, he was able to do that in the bowl game a season ago. So that experience will be invaluable for the success that Oklahoma has today.
Well, obviously the quarterback room, that dynamic's changed a little bit. For more on that story, let's go down and visit with Morgan.
Since quarterback John Mateer returned from a successful surgery during the bye week, he has been a model for handling adversity. Coach Venables saying that he's been impressed with his loyalty because he's shown it daily in team meetings and practices. Even out here during warmups, he was out here in full pads, fully invested in this offense and the growth of quarterback Michael Hawkins Jr. Hawkins, over the past 10 months of sharing that quarterback room together, has grown immensely. Offensive coordinator Ben Arbuckle saying he's embraced everything the position demands, becoming more vocal, commanding the huddle, and even leaning into having humility, leaning on quarterback John Mateer, learning from him, who's been in this system for 3 years. And this entire team has complete belief in Hawkins, and Hawkins showing he has that complete belief and confidence in himself, guys.
Yeah, it's his show. He's excited for it, been working extremely hard to get to this point. We'll see certainly what he has in store. But if you want to look big picture, one of the reasons this Oklahoma team, maybe the biggest reason why they have been so successful, it's on the defensive side of the ball. And as we take a look at our big deal brought to you by Old Trapper, defensively, few are better than the Sooners right now.
Yeah, they're playing at an elite level. What makes them so special is their ability to get after the quarterback, right? There are 3 types of ways they create sacks. One is a coverage sack, right? You got to have great patience, but then at the same time be relentless to the quarterback. 4.8 seconds, still able to get the ball. Now you look at a twist between the 2 tackles on the inside. You get a pick by your first defensive tackle, then David Stone comes free and then finishes the deal. And then you got to win your one-on-ones. In this case, R. Mason Thomas winning his 2-on-1, putting the right tackle in the lap of Jackson Arnold, and then finishing off that play. This defense has been playing elite and with extreme prejudice in the same way Master Chief defends home.
The Sooners will be trying to defend their home here this afternoon against this team that just wants to get something positive. It has been a struggle for the Golden Flashes the last few years. Brent Venables faced this Kent State team in his first year Obviously picked up a win there against Kent State. But there is Mark Carney. He is the interim head coach. They had some issues. Prior head coach departed, let go, however you want to phrase it, in the offseason. And, well, as the offensive coordinator steps up into that role, and certainly he has got the right attitude, man. It's just, does he have the right pieces to get this thing on the tracks? We shall see how they do today, as they will get the football first. Kimbrough, Martin back to receive this kick. Oklahoma won the toss, they deferred. Tate Sandell, Squibber. Here's Martin bringing it out. Martin gets it to the 15 and it's dropped right there. So that is where Kent State will take over. And news for the Golden Flashes. Devin Cargman will get the start instead of Drew DeShields, who's had a pretty good start to this season. This was a late, we just found out about 30 minutes before kickoff, but Cargman's a guy out of Camden, New Jersey. Played last year, was their starter, but in the fourth game against Penn State back in late September, the second play of the game was stretchered off the field, ended up having hip surgery, is healthy enough, been practicing recently. So he is getting the start today. I mean, wasn't even on the radar when we were talking to coaches a couple of days ago. Maybe their radar wasn't on our radar. They will hand it off to Gavin Garcia. The little man at 5'7", 190 pounds getting that carry. Toby McKenzie, the first one there for the Sooners defensively.
And Dave, you bring up Cargman having an opportunity to get his first start in over a year. It's probably not the easiest to go up against one of the best defenses in college football right now in the Oklahoma Sooners.
Cargman did play a few snaps against Oklahoma back in 2022 when these teams met for the first and last time. Cargman, he will be dropped. That'll go behind the line of scrimmage, so give this Oklahoma defense another sack. That is the 17th of the year, coming off a 9-sack performance against Auburn 2 weekends ago.
Yeah, and you're going to see the pick twist that we talked about. David Stone right there in the middle of it again with Grayson Halton to be able to stop and foil that second down attempt for Kent State Golden Flashes.
Boy, talking to Brent Venables about this defense, his eyes just lit up. He just feels like he has got tools at every level. Third down and 8. Pass is caught. That'll be close to the 30-yard line. Good enough to move the chains. Deshaun Martin making his 7th catch of the year. This Kent State team has already played Texas Tech, already played Florida State. Now they get Oklahoma. They had a week off after getting drubbed 66-10 against the Seminoles in Tallahassee. Jordan Newman in the game at running back. 5th-year senior. They'll hand it off to Newman and nowhere to run. He'll lose a couple of yards. That's a loss of 2 and another TFL by this defense.
And David Stone is a pillar to why they have so much success getting the nod to start today. And he's already made 2 big plays on the opposite side of the line of scrimmage with the sack and now a TFL in this drive.
Kent State averaging just 18 points a game. That's 119th in the country. Pass is caught at the 35. Good effort out over the 37. That one goes to Wayne Harris. That's his 9th catch of the year. He picks up 9.
Dave, we got 3rd and 3 here. The previous 3rd down attempt, the Golden Flashes targeted going against the young freshman corner, Cortland Guillory. We'll see if that's where they go again to try to see if they can get a mismatch that they like.
Guillory had his hands full last weekend trying to defend Cam Coleman of Auburn. We will see Eli Bowen back there in the secondary, making his first appearance of the year.
Kent State takes their first timeout of the half.
So we will keep it here on 3rd down and 3. Kent State just 29% on the year on 3rd down. That's 127th out of 136 teams. So Coach Carney trying to figure out something to dial up here and keep this change moving, and more importantly, keep the clock moving for them.
Absolutely, and the thing that you talk about, Kent State being one of the teams that struggle on 3rd down offensively, well, that's what Oklahoma's defense does extremely well. They're #1 in the country on 3rd down, and it's because of the sack production they are able to provide. And on 3rd downs, that's when those D linemen get to pin their ears back and try to go get it.
So Devin Cargman. There's Eli Bowen. Just talked about him. First appearance of the year. Started last year as a true freshman, but been out with a leg injury. Back in coverage on this possession as Cargman throws. That one is incomplete. Looking for Deshaun Martin way over his head, and Kent State will bring out their punting unit.
That's a good job by that Oklahoma defense. Kent State actually had time to be able to get the ball off. The ball was overthrown and sailed, and gives an opportunity to see a first look at what this Oklahoma offense can do after the punt.
Isaiah Satania back to return this punt. He's returned 10 punts on the year, averaging just a little bit less than 8 yards, as long as 21. He will stand just inside the 20-yard line. Trying to get the edge. He does so, needs a couple of blocks around midfield. Down the sideline and knocked out of bounds by Charlie Durkin, the punter. But a heck of a return. I do not see any flags. 42-yard return.
Yeah, incredible return set up by being able to get his blockers right in front of him. He sets the pickup by starting to the middle of the field and then utilizes his wall to the right side to be able to gain the edge. He utilizes that speed, and there he goes. He got a wall set up, and all he has to do is go out and run, and he outruns a tackler and saved by the bell by the punter to be able to stop what could have been a touchdown on that return play.
So the Sooners' first possession will be in Kent State territory. Michael Hawkins Jr. 1-3 as a starting quarterback. 63% of his passes were completed a year ago. We've got a stoppage in play, and they're going to go back and look at this to see if Satania stepped out of bounds before he got across midfield.
Yeah, right when Dorilus Clark actually pushes him, it was very close. That right foot might have touched out of bounds, and so that's where they're reviewing to see. And this is a great angle as Clark pushes him. That right foot, it appeared right around where the sticks are to be able to showcase if he was actually hit out of bounds or not. So we got a couple of looks there. It's going to be very close as they go under review to see if his foot did touch the white. Here's an even better angle as Satania gets pushed. It's a little far away, a little blurry, but that's where they are checking to see if that right foot touches paint.
Well, I just don't know if any of these angles can give us that look.
That's close right there. We can't tell from that angle. Maybe one of the earlier angles we could get a better vantage point. But it's difficult to tell. The officials seem to have at least gotten a better angle than we have as they continue to deliberate over what the call will be.
We're going to go back under the hood again. Matt Leffler, our referee, was getting ready to do something and took his headset off, started moving toward midfield, and then says, oh, wait a minute.
I know this isn't basketball, but that, my friend, is what you would call a pump fake.
Okay, let's see what this is.
After review, the ruling on the field is upheld. First down at the 42.
I just don't think there's any way you could change what their initial spot was. So it'll be at the 42-yard line, a short field for Michael Hawkins Jr., a 6'1" sophomore out of Dallas, Texas. Making his first start since the Armed Forces Bowl back in December. Big hole right off the middle for the freshman Tory Blaylock. He picks up a dozen and a first down.
I expect to see a good dose of him. This run game has struggled a little bit with the running backs producing at the level the coaches want to see them at. Expect that to be a focal point against Kent State today.
Blaylock splits out wide to the near sideline. Now he comes back in motion. Hawkins to throw, steps up, airs it out toward the end zone. A little too much. Boy, and a bad collision for Keontae Lewis against that back wall. He just went 100 miles an hour into the brick. Boy, that was a bad collision. We will step aside back to Norman right after this. Not much news to tell you about concerning Keontae Lewis, who in the back of the end zone trying to make a catch, went full speed into that brick wall, and it was an awkward collision with the brick wall, and he has been down. A senior out of East St. Louis. Played a bunch of football at UCLA, Wisconsin, Southern Illinois, but finding his way here to Oklahoma. Part of a revamped wide receiver group. They lost 6 receivers from a year ago and basically had to overhaul the whole thing.
Yeah, and he's been playing some really good football Obviously, you hope that he's okay as he's being cared to, and the physicians have done a great job of immediately seeing it and sprinting over to provide aid. But that's a scary ordeal that no teammate, coach, family member wants to see happen and unfold in that type of manner. The team has huddled up together. It appears as though they even said a prayer as they look on to wish their teammate well.
It was encouraging to see his legs moving a few moments ago.
They've brought out the medic cart as well, which is never a good sign.
We're going to take a break. They try to get this situation handled in the end zone. We'll be back right after this. Keontez Lewis being loaded up into the medical cart. The entire Sooner team making their way over. Just a scary moment as Keontez Lewis trying to make an effort in the back of the end zone to catch the Michael Hawkins throw. His momentum carried him into that brick wall and just struck it going full speed and hit it very awkwardly. And the moment you saw it in real time, you just knew that that was not what you wanted to see. It was a violent collision with that brick wall. Well, we've got Morgan down on the sidelines. I'm sure she is gathering as much information on the situation as she can. She'll give us an update when she gets some more information, and we will certainly keep you posted throughout the game today on the status of Keontez Lewis. Man, now, Fozzie, you know, as a player, your teammate, I mean, even Kent State, I mean, having to watch that. How do you get it back? How do you even just focus on the task at hand?
Yeah, it's tough. You lose momentum, obviously, after the big punt return. You never want to see your friend go down in that manner, your teammate go down in that manner, but you got to find a way to flip the switch. And that's exactly what football is, right? You have ups and you have downs. You hope the best for Keontez Lewis, but they got to try to find a way to still win this game by any means necessary.
Looking at a 2nd down and 10 now. Hawkins takes it himself. There was a hole for a moment that closed quickly as Mason Maddox did his job on that defensive front. A redshirt junior out of Aurora, Colorado, transferred in from Colorado.
Yeah, design quarterback draw there. Mason Maddox does well, not moving past Michael Hawkins and getting a nice stop to set up a 3rd and long for this Oklahoma offense.
Javonte Gibson on the field wearing number 11. Good to see him, a transfer in from Arkansas Pine Bluff, who in the spring before an injury was certainly putting on a show. This pocket collapses for a moment. Hawkins throws to the end zone. Caught. Touchdown, Oklahoma. Isaiah Satania comes up with the reception, but how in the world did Hawkins get that pass off as Mason Woods was hanging on him?
Incredible use of athleticism. We talked about what he brings and the expertise that he was able to get from a familiarity standpoint a season ago. That's that dynamic playmaking ability that he showcased last year, and now he's able to put the Sooners on the board for the first time today.
Tate Sandell to attempt this point after. He rips it through the uprights, but Michael Hawkins Jr. with his first touchdown of the year. How in the world? Look at this. He's got a guy just hanging all over him.
Yeah, and Kent State does a great job of doing their own version of twist stunts. Guy draped all on his back. Just throw it up. Isaiah Satania's down there somewhere.
Personal foul, hands to the face, kicking team, number 78. 15-yard penalty, try down.
They're going to make him re-kick it after the hands to the face. They'll spot it back at the 18-yard line. Actually spot the football on the hold will be from the 26, so you're looking at a 36-yard extra point. But what we saw from Tate Sandell in warm-ups today, this is a 58-degree sandwich for him. And it is good. So put it back on the board. Oklahoma leads at 7-0.
Here's Satania coming all the way in motion and then finding his way into the back of that Kent State defense as Houdini, Michael Hawkins, able to keep the play alive and finds their first touchdown connection of the 2025 season. That's a job well done by Michael Hawkins and Satania, being alert for anything that could come up. And you can see that guy's fired up for the opportunity to start in the football game this year.
So a good start for Oklahoma. Team that's averaging over 31 points a game, 11th in the conference. 430 yards of total offense, top 50. DeReal Clark and Kimbrough back there now. And this is returnable by Clark. Clark has had a kickoff return for a touchdown this year in their opener. This time snuffed out around the 20-yard line, and that's where Kent State will take over. Behind Devin Cargman, getting the nod to get the start today. And if you're just joining us, Cargman, who was their starter at the beginning of the season last year, just moments before the game today was announced as the starter, as opposed to Drew DeShields and C.J. Montez, who were the two guys that were really the top two quarterbacks coming out of fall practice. DeShields won that quarterback battle as they kind of split time early on, but it's Cargman today who played here back in 2022 for the Golden Flashes against the Sooners. Here's Garcia trying to slip and slide through that right side of the line of scrimmage. Marvin Jones Jr. making the tackle for the Sooners.
And for Kent State in this offense to have a chance, you got to be good on first and second down, because where Oklahoma feasts is getting you in third and long situations defensively. So you got to be smart and be able to pick up yardage on first and second down.
Here's Garcia again, or excuse me, Kay Wolford on that carry. The redshirt freshman out of Jackson, Ohio. Gets back to the line of scrimmage. Actually picks up a couple of yards on that one as Jordan Newman now will check in at running back. Boy, you got to stay out of these third and longs. Boy, you know this Oklahoma defense licking their chops.
Chomping at the bit. That's when Venable's defensive playbook opens to its max. Brings pressure, twists, stunts. Expect all of that to unfold over the course of the game.
Cargman misfires with Mulder, the tight end. It'll be fourth down. Coach Venable's defense holds again, and they'll send Isaiah Satania back to return this punt. Satania had a 42-yard return the first time he got his hands on the football. Also has a touchdown catch. Low line drive kick, returnable by Satania. Sees a little room to run, kicks it to the outside again. Flags come in behind the play. Satania to the 20 and drop there.
Another great return by that Oklahoma return team, but whenever there's yellow laundry on the field, that typically means it's coming back.
During the return, holding, return team, number 88. 10-yard penalty for the spot of the foul. It is first down. Time.
Jacob Jordan with the violation. I don't think Coach Venables necessarily agreed with it. They have the football, though, up by 7.
SEC football is presented by the Sonic Smasher. This month only, buy one and get a free large drink when you order in the Sonic app. And in part by T-Mobile 5G Home Internet.
Look at those throwback uniforms, busting those out today. Back to the Bud Wilkinson era. Oh boy, what a hit, but the catch by Giovanni Gibson. Welcome to Oklahoma, Giovanni.
A great job to secure the catch. Hands going away from the body, expecting the hit. He does a great job of being able to come down with that football.
There's Ben Arbuckle, the young 30-year-old offensive coordinator that has transformed this offense. Getting Giovanni Gibson back after a severe injury at the end of spring is a big addition for this team. A lot of folks in these parts anxious to see number 11 on the field, and you already gave him a highlight. Here's a highlight for Hawkins. Inside the 30, out of bounds around the 25. They'll spot him at the 23, give him 27 yards. Rollison there to make the play.
Yeah, you see this play. Jared Kennett does a great job of lead blocking out in front, and then Ben Arbuckle calls on Michael Hawkins' game, which is to be able to utilize his legs. And he might be a more dynamic runner than John Mateer, and that was on display that last play.
Blaylock in the backfield with Hawkins. He'll get the football. Close to the 20-yard line. Boy, Blaylock has just busted onto the scene. The true freshman. Averaging over 4 yards a carry, 3 touchdowns. Getting a bunch of work. Waiting on Jaden Ott, the transfer from Cal, to kind of make his presence known. Jaden's played a little bit, but just hasn't really had a moment yet. High throw, incomplete. A little too much on it. Driving to hit Ivan Carrion, the sophomore out of Odessa.
Yeah, you see that pass just sails slightly high on Michael Hawkins Jr. out of the reach of Carrion, and now sets up 3rd and long for this Oklahoma offense.
Golden Flash is bringing some extra rushers, and it pays off. They drop Hawkins back at the 32-yard line. Mason Woods, the first one there, their 5th-year senior. The preseason All-MAC linebacker has made a couple of plays today. That'll be a loss of 10.
Yeah, and you can see a 3-man pick game, similar to actually what Oklahoma does so well. This Oklahoma offense obviously got a dose of their own medicine by way of Kent State for a huge stop on 3rd down.
So here is Tate Sandell. This will be a 49-yard attempt. I mean, he hit it over the Allstate net from 49. We saw him before the game today, hit from 62 with plenty of juice on it.
Absolutely. He has a big leg, and obviously it goes through the accuracy to match with the power as well.
3 more on the board for Oklahoma. It's 10-0. Coming up next, number 6 Texas A&M hosting Mississippi State at Kyle Field in the final game of our SEC Network doubleheader. It's also available over on the ESPN app, so you can watch anywhere you may be. Mississippi State, we saw them last weekend. Certainly, what an effort, lost in overtime. It is a different ball club than what we saw a year ago. Jeff Levy certainly has connections here. The Oklahoma has got things going in the right direction. And Mario Craver, the one-time Mississippi State wide receiver, facing his old team as he lines up for the Aggies. Boy, he's an electrifying player, isn't he?
Yeah, absolutely, and one of the best additions for that A&M offense. Expect him to be pumped up and ready to go tonight whenever they play in College Station.
Kimbrough and Clark back to return the kick again. Sandell will boom this one through the back of the end zone, so out to the 25-yard line. Kent State did pick up a first down on their opening drive of the game, bringing out their last possession. And we'll see how they can try to find some kind of weakness in this defense, but I don't know if it's there.
Yeah, a lot of teams have been trying to figure out that process. It hasn't gone well for the previous 4 opponents for this Oklahoma team.
Giving up just 9 points a game, less than 90 yards rushing, less than 120 yards through the air, 207 yards of total offense allowed by Oklahoma. The numbers are just staggering. 4-man rush. Pass is dropped at the 32-yard line. J.J. Etheridge was there to make a play, just couldn't hang on. But here's some of those numbers we were just talking about. The one thing that jumps at you, though, no turnovers. The only team in the FBS that has yet to create a turnover. Now, Brett Venables said there's been a couple of opportunities that we let get through our hands. But still, it's something they talk about. I mean, they got to turn the corner, flip that page.
Yeah, it's been a couple of plays. I'm thinking about Auburn, Peyton Bowen, and Kendall Daniels both had their hands on footballs, just weren't able to come down with it. That's been a focus of theirs.
Left side. Kimbrough on that carry. It'll be 3rd down and 7 now.
Again, this is where Oklahoma's defense excels. Give you so many different looks. Sometimes they line up with 7 people on the line of scrimmage. Other times it's only 3, but they find ways to get that simulated pressure with 4 and 5 guys from so many different looks.
There is a flag down. It looked like Oklahoma was going to bring some pressure and decided to back off.
Before the snap, false start, offense. Number 78, 5-yard penalty. It is 3rd down.
That's their 6'8", 320-pound left tackle, Tyler Meadows. Playing high school ball this time a year ago, and now he's playing right here at OU Memorial Stadium against the Sooners, ranked 5th in the country. I don't think he saw a defensive front like this in high school.
Not quite.
Empty set here for Devin Cardsman. We'll swing it out to Wolford on the far side. He'll only get a couple of yards. His bodies go flying into that Kent State bench area. Kendall Dolby, the first one there. So if everybody can get up and get to their respective benches. And here come the Golden Flash punt team.
If I'm Coach Carney here and the goal is to punt, if I'm truly going to punt, I'm thinking about kicking it opposite of where number 5 is on the field. It's twice now he's had good returns. The second one obviously was called back, but he showed his dynamic playmaking ability with what he can do with his hands.
Low line drive kick that's going to take a couple of Kent State bounces. That's a way to keep it out of Satania's hands. So at the 25-yard line, the Sooners will have the football. Time to get our first update of the afternoon. Let's get you to the Charlotte studios. PB, what's up, buddy? Wow. Interesting. Desmond Howard quickly called the Gators for a win today on game day. Didn't hesitate with it.
Playing at home. They're playing well right now.
That carry by Torrey Blaylock. Picks up 5. This is a part of the game offensively I think Oklahoma wants to get some confidence today, and that is just running the football with some consistency, picking up 4, 5, 6 yards. It's been a little bit of a struggle for them.
Yeah, efficiency is the key word. Staying ahead of the chains is how that run game will be utilized throughout the course of the season.
4-man rush. Canick, the tight end, who's just been fantastic. Cordoba making the play, but that'll be a first down for the Sooners. Canick might be one of the greats. So we talk a lot of these quarterback transfers and whatnot, but Canick, to me, a guy that spent 3 years playing defensive ball. 2 years ago, had over 60 tackles from a linebacker spot. In the spring, they moved him to tight end and leading the country, leading all tight ends in the country with over 300 receiving yards.
Truly impressive, Dave.
There goes Torrey Blaylock. He's close to the line to gain. They're going to give him the first down. Picks up 10. Williams finally bringing him down. Their big defensive tackle. Blaylock at 5'11", 200 pounds out of Humble, Texas. They'll fake it to Blaylock. Come back near side. There's Canick again. Canick dropped inside the 40. Mason Woods trips him up, but a gain of 15 for a guy averaging 17 yards per catch.
Right, he does a great job. Kent State actually snuffed it out, tried to undercut the screen. Canick was just too fast, being able to get out in open space and pick up another gain of 15 to help him being the best tight end in college football right now.
Blaylock off the right side. Oh, nice open field tackle there by Tevin Tucker, the sophomore. A loss of 2 on the play. That is big time by old number 13.
Yeah, Tevin Tucker read that play from the jump. Didn't hesitate, triggered, kept leverage, and obviously forced the TFL on that. And that's how you want to see this aggressive defense play for Kent State and try to get Oklahoma's offense playing behind the chains.
Four-man pressure. Hawkins wide open over the middle. Pass caught there by Carrion inside the 10. They'll spot him down at the 8-yard line, but a gain of 32.
Yeah, it's a dig concept. Carrion all the way on the outside running the big dig route. Nobody in 10, 15-foot radius of him being able to secure that catch, and Hawkins delivers a strike and takes advantage of that, pick up a first down.
There's his proud papa, Michael Hawkins Sr. Hand off to Blaylock. Cordoba making that play. Looks like Mr. Hawkins could still line up and play some football.
Yeah, he looks like he's pretty good in shape right now.
That is the end of the first quarter. Play like champions. Oklahoma has done that right out of the gates here in 2025. They lead 10-0. Back to Norman right after this. You're watching the SEC on ESPN. Oklahoma leading 10-0 after 15 minutes of play here at OU Memorial Stadium. The 163rd consecutive sellout, second longest streak in the country, only trailing Nebraska. Gorgeous day here in Norman. Temperatures in the mid-80s, nice little breeze to cool things off a bit as the Sooners trying to punch it in one more time inside the 10-yard line. Hawkins 3 of 3 on this drive for 53 yards. They will hand it off to Blaylock. He is hit there by Mason Woods. Woods with now over 30 tackles this year.
Mason Woods and Kanan Williams do a really good job there. I thought that was going to be a walk-in touchdown for Torrey Blaylock, but they closed that hole up very quickly and now forcing a third down in the red zone.
Throw it wide open in the back of the end zone. Touchdown, Oklahoma from 3 yards out. The second touchdown pass of the day for Hawkins. That one goes to Caden Helms, the tight end, and he was wide open. There wasn't anybody within 10 yards of him.
Yeah, Ben Arbuckle in his bag, being able to utilize that play action to be able to free up Helms. It's a great job on third down, being able to connect.
Sandell's point after is up and good, but now 17-0.
You're going to see these linebackers so enthralled with the run. And Michael Hawkins Jr. go right behind them. Touchdown Helms, and the Sooners up by 17.
Unlock more sports for one unbeatable price. Get unrivaled coverage all year long. Introducing the new ESPN Fox One bundle.
Well, a big top 10 battle in next week's featured women's volleyball matchup. Wednesday's third-ranked Kentucky taking on ninth-ranked Texas. Should be a lot of fun. Volleyball season is cranked up. Some fantastic matchups so far. Ole Miss and Mississippi State will be coming your way from Starkville. But here it's 17-0 Oklahoma on top of Kent State. 14.5 minutes to go here in the second quarter as Devin Cargman giving instructions to this offense that has 1 first down today. Gavin Garcia will be your running back. Mark Carney took over this team for Kenny Burns. Cargman lofts it up and a little too much for his intended receiver, Cade Wolford. Carney took over for Burns, who just went 1-23 in his 2 seasons at the helm of the Golden Flashes. Kent State's lost 25 straight to FBS teams, 23 of those by double digits. They did snap a 21-game losing streak by beating Merrimack in their opener, an FCS team. Pass caught there by Wayne Harris. Nowhere to go for Wayne the moment he caught the football, surrounded by 3 Oklahoma jerseys led by Kendall Daniels.
And Jordan did a good job as well as maintaining outside leverage, forcing it back to Daniels. And again, that puts this Golden Flashes offense in 3rd and 10, staring down the face of this Oklahoma defense.
And dropped. The second sack of the day. Okoye will get credit for that sack and a loss of 8. That is number 18 on the season.
And they came in averaging 4 sacks a game. Okoye right at the top, 1-on-1 with the right tackle. He just beats him with speed, slaps the hand out of the way, and then obviously gets Cargman down onto the ground. That's a phenomenal job by Okoye, leaving his presence felt on that drive.
The Sooners have now forced 37 punts from their opponents this year. They've only allowed 36 total points. Satania with a very returnable punt. Isaiah slips at the 45. Well, these spots, you were a return man, you're just kind of licking your chops in games like this, right?
Absolutely, and you look at the points allowed. This is a crazy stat, right? This is how dominating this Oklahoma defense has been. 36 points allowed, you mentioned it, 37 punts forced. More punts forced than number of points allowed. That's incredible, and Satania obviously gets to benefit from that. The only thing that seems to stop him is maybe the turf on today's in the return game.
Michael Hawkins Jr. back on the field. Little sidearm toss caught there by Deion Burks. Deion across the midfield stripe to the 47-yard line of Kent State. First catch today for Mr. Burks. Came in with 23 grabs, a couple of touchdowns. Jaden Ott in the backfield. He'll get the little toss. Ott inside the 40. He'll have a first down at the 38-yard line. The senior out of Chino, California, transferred in from Cal.
Getting a nice ovation from the crowd. He's a dynamic player from Cal. Obviously went through some injuries, banged up a little bit in fall camp. Got some burn, some against Michigan. But now we're getting to see him in this drive. Already picked up a first down.
Here's Ott looking for some room. Has it. Still on his feet. Ott to the 25-yard line. Derek Jackson there to make the play. Jaden Ott, preseason All-SEC. That's because of what he did really in 23. Last year at Cal, a little banged up. Didn't see the whole package from Jaden Ott. But in 2023, he was fantastic at 5 100-yard games, 1,300 yards, 12 touchdowns. So when he came to Oklahoma, people were like, oh, okay, Oklahoma, you got yourself a good one, but just hadn't clicked yet.
Yeah, not yet, but we're starting to see him get into a rhythm. And I think that's part of what we're going to see today as well from the running back room, is getting these guys juiced up, lathered, and getting comfortable with their linemen and finding consistency in the run game.
First charge timeout, Oklahoma.
So Michael Hawkins Jr. looking very comfortable running this offense as Oklahoma leads 7-0. Let's go downstairs, visit with Morgan.
Well, in that first offensive series for the Sooners, we saw wide receiver Keontae Lewis collided with the wall. It was very somber for both teams as he was carted off the field. And guys, no official update right now from Oklahoma staff on where he is or how he's doing.
Thanks, Morgan. And as soon as we get some sort of word, we'll pass it along. Oklahoma, generally a school that is not eager to give you injury updates, but perhaps this is one of those situations. Maybe we can get something before the end of the day. Oh, heck of a play. They went with Deion Burks on a reverse, and that thing was blown up. Another great play from the back end.
Yeah, you see, he's reading jet sweep all the way, and then is able to defeat two blockers going on the inside of Kanik and Otten, making the play for a TFL. That's huge for him to be able to trigger in that manner and get the solo tackle.
That's Joe Boma over there, not even on our depth chart, making a heck of a play. Jaden Ott gets that yardage back and then some. They'll blow the whistle at the 25. The crowd said, wait a minute.
His knee may have been down when he first caught this ball. And it looks like he's on the ground right there. That play will most likely go under review. That ball should be spotted at the 35-yard line where he caught it because his knee was on the ground.
And there is the whistle for stoppage, but
The previous play is under further review.
And let's take a closer look at this as Michael Hawkins Jr. throws it out. It appears Jay Knott's knee is on the ground as he catches that ball. This is a great view there. The cleat is kind of in the way, but you can see the front of the knee on the ground there at about that 35-yard line. And one more look. Knee is down, possesses the ball. I believe that play is going to come back and be called dead at the 35. That would wipe out 10 yards worth of field position. And instead of third
After
and
review,
10,
the receiver's knee was down at the 35-yard line. It'll be third down at that spot.
instead of 3rd and 10, now you're looking at 3rd and 20. And that's a completely different play call for this Oklahoma offense.
Ball spotted back at the 35-yard line. Oklahoma 2 of 3 on 3rd downs, but they haven't faced one that needed to gain 20 yards. Hawkins flips it to Ott. Ott with a stiff arm, stays on his feet to the 20-yard line, so maybe now possibly think about a 4th down opportunity as he'll pick up 15 yards. And here comes the field goal unit.
Yeah, and Jaden Ott, great job making a couple guys miss. And for a second there, thought he may have had a chance to try to squeeze in and get the 1st down, but pushed out of bounds well short. Tate Sandell with the attempt here.
39-yard attempt. He is hit from 49. And this one is good. Tate Sandell now 8 of 9 on the season. Oklahoma pushes their lead to 20-0. 9:09 to go, 2nd quarter. Thanks, PB. And I remember Vanderbilt in that game back in the first quarter fumbled. I think it was inside the 10-yard line or close to the 10-yard line, driving for another touchdown. They have not been afraid to go into Tuscaloosa. They're just not afraid with Diego Pavia.
He provides a completely different level of confidence for that Vanderbilt team, and they're playing like that. We saw last year what that type of confidence can produce, and they were the more physical team a year ago. They seem to be trying to repeat what they did in Vanderbilt now in T-Town this year.
20-0 here. Oklahoma out in front of Kent State. Jake Sandell has been a busy man here in the first half. We got just over 9 minutes to go before halftime. Kent State does have one first down, but they have really struggled to move the football, as you might imagine, against this Oklahoma defense. Last drive ended in a sack, loss netted -8 yards. Jordan Newman comes in at running back. A transfer in from Minnesota. Throw here, quick slant, pass is caught. That's Deshaun Martin. He's dragged down out over the 45, and there's a 21-yard pickup for the Golden Flashes.
Yeah, and a great job using an RPO to their advantage. One-on-one matchup. Martin gets the likes of the DB and takes that inside slant. He almost broke free for an even bigger gain if he wasn't tackled and brought down.
First down and 10. Newman stays in the game at running back. They will give it to him. He breaks a couple of tackles and is dragged down at the 46-yard line. They'll spot him actually back around the 47, a gain of 7. But a good quick hitter off the left side for Newman.
And they're using tempo, try to catch this Oklahoma defense off guard.
Yeah, Kent State not a tempo team by trade. Trying to pull out all the stops here, catch Oklahoma a little bit on their heels.
3rd and 1, this is what I mentioned earlier, is you got to be good on 1st and 2nd down and put yourself in manageable situations on 3rd down if you want to try to slow down the rush defense of what Oklahoma does so well. This is where they want to be in 3rd and short situations.
Mark Carney. This goes with a straight dive play, and it works out well. Pick up the first down. Their best drive of the game here with 7.5 minutes to go before the half. Mark Carney, the head coach, a former OC for the Golden Flashes, played quarterback himself at Fordham. Played under Dave Clawson, who was a very successful head coach at Wake Forest until stepping down a couple of seasons ago. Enjoyed talking with him this week. Boy, high energy, positive guy.
Yeah, in the situation he stepped in, he's done a great job trying to lead this team.
High throw, pass is caught inside the 30, close to the 25-yard line. That's Christian Berry going up high and picks up 13.
Yeah, great job by Berry. Up and over, and he even finds a way to secure the catch and take the hit. Yeah, pick up another first down. This Kent State Golden Flashes offense starting to show signs of life here in this 2nd quarter on this drive.
Oklahoma making some defensive substitutions as Kent State will bring in Donovan Delaney Jr. at running back. Going toward the end zone, had a man just overthrew him by a couple of steps, but Cade Wolford definitely had a step on the Sooner defender. Boy, Cards would like to have that one back.
Yeah, and Cade Wolford does a great job, splits the defense. They're not able to get over the top of him, and Parchman wishes he could have that throw back because that was a touchdown. No doubt about it if he puts it right on 21's chest.
2nd down and 10. Kimbrough lines up in that pistol formation, now slides to the right. They will give it to him and nowhere to run. He is met right there in the hole by R. Mason Thomas, a loss of 3. the senior out of Fort Lauderdale, preseason All-SEC. First time we were able to call his name today.
Yeah, and R. Mason Thomas does a good job being able to use the twist in the stunt to go inside of where the linemen were blocking on that zone play. And you can see he doesn't just sack the ball carrier or the quarterback, he also makes his presence felt in the backfield.
3rd down and 13. Pass is a little bit low, but they'll say it's caught right around the 20-yard line. That'll be a few yards shy, about 4 yards shy of that first down line. Wayne Harris on the reception. Gotta keep their offense on the field here. Kent State this season on 4th downs, 5 out of 11. Carney says, hey, what the heck, let's do it.
Well, they found some success. Be alert. I bet this is Cade Wolford territory to get the ball here on 4th down.
Quick hitter, and it's not there. Cargman had to get rid of it. Pressure was coming, trying to hit Wayne Harris, who didn't have his head turned.
That's a great job by this Oklahoma defense providing that pressure. Cargman doesn't have time to step up into the throw. Dwayne Harris has to have his head on the swivel. Expect a quick throw.
20-0, Oklahoma out in front. Back in a moment.
The College Football Playoff begins December 19th and concludes with the National Championship January 19th on ESPN.
It's going to be a wild ride. I don't know that there is a clear-cut type dominant team right now. You could throw a hat over a bunch of them.
I feel like the Heisman race is kind of like that as well right now.
Pass caught. Isaiah Satania. The transfer in from Arkansas. Boy, been a great addition after 3 years in Fayetteville for the Sooners. First year in an Oklahoma uniform. Hawkins drop back inside the 25-yard line. Jamon Mathis, a loss of 11.
You're going to take a look. Jamon Mathis, 2-point stance right at the bottom. He showcases his inside ability to swim and then use his quickness to get to the quarterback. That's an impressive move by Mathis there one-on-one with the tackle.
Brings up a 2nd down and 21. Ott in the backfield alongside Hawkins. He'll stay in to protect. Hawkins sidearm sling. Oh, what a throw. Hits Satania. How about that little seed from the side?
You know, we hear so many people talk about Patrick Mahomes doing the sidearm throw. Not saying Michael Hawkins is Patrick Mahomes, but that was an impressive throw, and Satania being able to corral that in. It's a big pickup on 2nd down to put them in 3rd and short.
Gain of 20, so 3rd and 1. They'll give it to Ott. Sees a little hole. Falls down around midfield, and that'll be a 1st down for the Sooners. DJ Barnes came slicing in to trip him up, but not before Ott does what he needed to do.
Great push by that Oklahoma offensive line, being able to create that hole and picking up that 1st down comfortably.
Toss it again near side. Here's Ott. Ott pushed out of bounds by Nyland Brown. They'll spot him at the Kent State 46-yard line, so a 4-yard pickup. We're talking to Brent Venables yesterday. We asked him about Jaden Ott, just, you know, what would his role be, and he was like, man, this is going to be his time. We're going to give him every opportunity to show us what he can do. He's been practicing extremely well the last 10 days, and they felt like he was going to have a good game. And boy, would that be a bonus if he can step up and give him 15 carries a game, anywhere in that 10 to 15 window.
Especially how effective he is, that's definitely a benefit.
So the 2-minute timeout. Oklahoma driving. They lead it by 20 here in the 1st half. Back in a moment. That hurts. Can't wait for the James Franklin post-game presser. Handoff goes to Ott, dancing around. He's inside the 40. I mean, that really is a shocking result. I mean, that's about as shocking as anything you can hear amongst the Power 4 schools. As bad as UCLA has been, and as much as we have put Penn State on this pedestal, that is just blowing your mind.
Coaches always say, don't let one loss turn into two. I feel like that's what has transpired after the double overtime loss to Oregon. They are not looking like themselves.
Here is Hawkins. Oh, he is tripped up, and let's hope he's all right. C.J. Young came flying in, and Hawkins a little gimpy back to that huddle. What a play by C.J. Young, though, the redshirt sophomore linebacker.
Yeah, he read it and delivered a hard-hitting blow on the sideline.
Hawkins hit as he throws. That'll be incomplete. Jamon Mathis was able to get back there and turn the corner and disrupt that play.
They may take a look just in case.
There is a flag down in the backfield. Let's see what that's about.
You see Mathis wins the one-on-one again. And I'm not quite sure if he doesn't hit that ball out of his hand, it is going forward. But Mathis showcasing his pass rush ability.
There is no intentional grounding. The player was hit as he was throwing the ball. Therefore, it's an incomplete pass.
Jamon Mathis looks a little gassed heading to the sidelines. So the Golden Flashes will substitute here on a 3rd down, and let's call it 8. Odd in the game at running back. Hawkins again, pocket collapses, has to throw on the run. And again, the pressure disrupts the play on a 3rd down. Mason Maddox was the one that got back there disrupting some stuff.
Yeah, Mason Maddox provided the pressure. That's a coverage sack, or I wouldn't even call it a sack. It wasn't a sack, but that's on the coverage of the defense being able to get the ball held in Michael Hawkins' hand and having to force it out of bounds, trying to aim for a one-on-one.
Here's a 55-yard attempt from Tate Sandell. He's hit twice already today. Can he make it 3 straight? Yes. 49, 39, and 55 for Tate Sandell. And that is a new career long. He had a 54-yarder last year. The transfer in from Texas San Antonio has been a real weapon so far for Oklahoma. Oh, we have got you covered with our all-new SEC Network Fall Football weekday lineup, from Monday reactions to Friday previews. Every show is also available streaming on the all-new ESPN app. Of course, Paul Feinbaum making some news this week, saying that he may give up his TV stuff and run for Senate. Well, think about it, he said.
Was that a headline, or you think that's actual?
I don't know. I don't know what to make of that. I really don't. I think he's serious.
I believe it. I believe it.
23-0 our score here with 56 seconds to go before halftime. Michael Hawkins Jr., 11 of 15, 143 yards, 2 touchdowns. Oklahoma's put up 214 yards of offense. They've rushed for 71, thrown for 143. And that'll be a touchback and out to the 25-yard line. Coming up at halftime, you can watch the live performance of the Pride of Oklahoma Marching Band on SEC Network Plus. Start streaming now over on the ESPN app. A couple of timeouts for Kent State, 2 timeouts for Oklahoma. Again, Devin Cargman gets the start at quarterback today. Thought we were going to see Drew DeShields, the redshirt sophomore. And they'll hand that off to Gavin Garcia. We spent a lot of time in our conversation with Mark Carney about DeShields. And then 30 minutes before kickoff, here comes Devin Cargman. And again, it's great to see him on the field. Cargman, a guy that had to have hip surgery after an injury he suffered against Penn State on the second play last year in late September.
How about the flow?
Solid.
A1, I like it.
Cargman out of Camden, New Jersey. So 23-0 will be our halftime score. Oklahoma's defense doing what they've done all year, and that is just stuff opponents. Just 79 total yards by Kent State. Just 4 first downs, a dozen first downs for Oklahoma, and they lead at 23-0 at the break. So it's halftime here in Norman, Oklahoma. Time to get you to our Charlotte studios. Here's Peter Burns and company. You're watching SEC football presented by Sonic. Oklahoma Memorial Stadium here in Norman on a gorgeous day. 23-0 our score after 2 quarters of play. Oklahoma with 3 field goals, including a 55-yarder. Sandell. Kent State with a big goose egg, less than 100 yards of total offense. So, Mr. Whitaker, your thoughts about that first half and what Oklahoma was able to do?
Yeah, ultimately the defense has been the calling card for this team. That was put on display again against Kent State, keeping them only 1 conversion going into that last drive on 3rd down, and then being able to stop the run and pressure the quarterback. That's the recipe for success for them to continue to have success as a team and do what they have done all season long.
Oklahoma will get the football here to start the 3rd quarter, and they'll get it at the 25-yard line. As we talk about this week's secret recipe, brought to you by Bush's Grill and Beans. And no secret that Michael Hawkins Jr. getting a start today. What did you make of the first half?
Yeah, I thought he played very efficiently. Only 4 incompletions, 143 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Even with defenders draped all over his chest, he finds a way to make plays. I expect him to utilize his legs as well in the second half a little bit more to help open up that ground game.
Well, I couldn't hear our white hat, Matt Leffler, but just said personal foul against Oklahoma after that kick. Didn't get a number or even what the personal foul entailed, but it'll back the football up to the 12-yard line. Torrey Blaylock will start the game in the backfield. He'll get the handoff here. Big hole right between the tackles, and he's out to the 30-yard line. Caden Williams brings him down, but not before 18 yards for Mr. Blaylock.
Very reminiscent of the very first offensive drive that Oklahoma had that started with the Blaylock first down.
True freshman out of Humble, Texas. They'll give it to him again. Not much happening here. Maybe a yard. Blaylock certainly has come onto the scene. You don't see many true freshmen get as many snaps as he has, especially for a top-5 team. But talking to offensive coordinator Ben Arbuckle, he described him as just a highly detailed, mature beyond his years freshman. They will split him out to the slot on the far side. Hawkins trying to find some room. Tripped up over the 35 by Jair Rawlison. But he picks up 6 on the play. So it'll be 3rd down.
Yeah, 3rd and manageable here. This is where Michael Hawkins Jr. really shines. You saw him use his legs on that last play. Expect for him to be utilized outside of the pocket or tuck it and run to pick up a first down on his own.
Blaylock, 9 carries, 50 yards, averaging 5.6 per carry. He'll stay in, now slips out of the backfield, but the pass is caught out over the 40-yard line. That one goes to Carson Kent, and that'll be good enough for an Oklahoma first down after a gain of 6.
Yeah, you see he's comfortable in the pocket. Kent finds that soft spot in the zone against Kent State, ironically, and picks up a first down for this Oklahoma offense.
First charge, timeout. Kent State.
Kent State having some substitution issues. Boy, Carson Kent, though, left the field a little banged up for Oklahoma as you see some of the issues trying to get the right personnel on the field. They get the timeout before the snap. Yeah, count 11, need 11.
You can play with 10, it's not advised, but you can play with less, just can't play with more.
There is Carson Kent on the air-conditioned bench. Still no update, by the way, on Keontez Lewis, the young man who early in this game ran into the brick wall in the end zone and had to leave on a stretcher. Still trying to get an update on him. Oh, big collision at the 47-yard line. Blaylock ran right into Joel Cordoba. Could hear that collision up here in the press box.
Yeah, and Blaylock got behind all 200 pounds of his pads and delivered the blow to Cordoba and finished that run with physicality and toughness.
Blaylock to the 46. Campbell brings him down. Good effort from the defensive end, the fifth-year senior who transferred in from UCLA, as Jade Knott will now replace Blaylock in the backfield.
I feel like this offense is yearning for one of these running backs to bust a big one, as they're due.
Another little sidearm sling from Hawkins, trying to hit Deion Burks. See on the top right, don't forget, coming up, Mississippi State at Texas A&M. Bulldogs with a tough one last weekend against Tennessee in front of a raucous house. Speaking of raucous, you know it'll be rolling in College Station tonight. Boy, Hawkins is throwing a lot of these passes from down low, and that one just kind of sailed on him again.
Yeah, his feet weren't set in the pocket. I'm not quite sure if he thought he was seeing pressure in his face, but he tries to throw that ball off balance on that last throw. It's wildly inaccurate. You see his feet he's not able to step into it how he wants to with the pressure in his face, and that leads to the ball just being overthrown and inaccurate.
3rd down and 10. Creates some space. Again, slings it. This one almost picked off. That is Joel Cordoba back there. Had his hands on it, but well behind the intended receiver. Now it's 4th down, but there is a flag back on the OU logo.
That's been 3 straight passes that were inaccurate.
Holding. Offense number 12. That penalty is declined. Result of the play brings up 4th down.
So for the first time today, we will see Grayson Miller back to punt. Grayson came in to replace Jacob Ulrich, who was hurt. Ulrich was the starting punter, the transfer from Kennesaw State. But Miller has, once he's taken over, has just been punting lights out. End over end, and that one is out of bounds around the 10-yard line. And a nice punt there. So Kent State will have the football, down 23. Back in a moment. How about that effort? Goodness gracious. Crazy football going around the SEC once again. Anyway, we got a quick second. Just got an update on Keontez Lewis after the injury when running into the brick wall. The initial evaluation of Keontez by OU sports medicine staff proved very promising. Out of an abundance of caution, he is being sent off site for additional testing as Jordan Newman gets that handoff and gets it out to the 14-yard line. So it's good news, at least, you know, the words promising came out of the release from Oklahoma's media relations department. That handoff again goes to Newman. David Stone, the former 5-star, was top 10 overall recruit in the country, not just by his position, overall. That's how big a deal David Stone was coming out of high school. #1 defensive tackle. And they say he's just kind of starting to click with him, and that is scary news.
Yeah, he's scratching the surface and has been extremely impactful this season. Already in this game as well. He's one of the big dynamic playmakers that keeps this defensive line on top of things.
3rd down, pressure comes, another sack and a touchdown for Oklahoma. Grayson Halton takes it into the end zone for the Sooners. R. Mason Thomas caused the fumble. There is a late flag inside the 5.
After the play was over, unsportsmanlike conduct, number 0. The touchdown is good. That is number 0's first unsportsmanlike foul of the game.
And the first takeaway this season for the Sooners comes on a defensive score.
Yeah, and there you see R. Mason Thomas just beats the tackle. The tackle doesn't even have a chance to get out of his stance. And then Grayson Halton is there to be able to capitalize. First turnover by that man, number 32. And then that man goes in for the big man touchdown. He's not let go of that ball either, Dave.
Going after is up and good. They were the only FBS team without a turnover this year. That all ends right here. A scoop and score. Big man touchdown here in Norman.
Welcome back to Norman, Oklahoma, where defense has been the calling card for the Sooners. Very first drive for the Kent State Golden Flashes resulted in sacks, and that's where this defense has been so great, is providing pressure on the opposite line of scrimmage. And then you see here the very first takeaway for this defense, and it's spearheaded by R. Mason Thomas, and then accentuated with a punctuation mark by Grayson Halton in the end zone. This defense is playing elite level football right now, Dave.
It is amazing, and it's not just the fact that they've got 11, 12 guys. I mean, they are rolling in 7, 8 defensive linemen. They're rolling 6 linebackers. They get Bowen back at a corner now, so they've got an additional body back there.
Yes.
I mean, it's a deep and talented group.
Yes, very deep. They play like they are a really talented group.
Yeah, they definitely have a swagger. There is no doubt about that. Boy, this one scoots past everybody. Here is the realist Clark. Nice return after that thing became almost a disaster.
Slips around the 2-yard line. Almost goes down. His knee looked like it may have hovered above the ground, but it'll be close as that right knee. Oh, it looks like it touches the ground right there. That right knee, take a look. Boom, touches down right there. Great job by the camera crew being able to get that.
That defense is on the field, and they're looking up at the scoreboard video monitors, and they all saw it.
The previous play is under further review.
They're all dancing around like, push that thing back to the 2, please.
Well, just last drive, the defense scored, put up points with R. Mason Thomas coming off of the edge. You put this offense on the 2-yard line, the defense is licking their chops, say, hey, we got a chance to go do this again. Derillis Clark just slips as he's trying to possess the ball. It took a funky hop. Wasn't able to judge it and stay in front of it and try to plant his feet in the ground, and that right knee goes down right around that 2-yard line. It's another great look at it right there.
After review, the player's knee was down at the 2-yard line. First down.
Boy, defense is thinking right here, can we score again?
That's the immediate thought. Hey, we just did it. Why not again? And I expect Kent State to come out with some more safe run call plays to begin with. But this Oklahoma defense is licking their chops right now.
So from the 2-yard line, Evan Cargman stands 5 yards deep in the end zone. They'll run it with Garcia. He has stood up at the line of scrimmage, maybe a yard after forward progress. Owen Heineke there to make his way in for a tackle.
They pick up a yard there, but for Kent State to have some breathing room, they got to try to get a first down, which has been a hard task to come by, especially backed up in your own end zone.
Second down and 9. Donovan Delaney in the backfield. He is hit right at the goal line. Forced himself out to the 2. Taylor Wine there met him in the hole.
This defense is trying to get at safety. Wine does a good job coming off of the edge, keeping leverage, and then forcing the ball carrier down to the ground. Now it's 3rd down. And what does Mark Carney want to do? Right on the heels of the goal line behind them.
Jordan Newman now checks in at running back. 6 on the line of scrimmage.
False start on the offense. Everybody except the center. Half the distance to the goal. It is 3rd down.
know if you have many plays on 3rd down and 10 from the 1. Actually, 3rd and 11 from the 1. Whatever play it is that keeps you going forward, whatever that is.
Get out of the end zone, immediate goal.
Did he get out of the end zone? They're going to spot his forward progress at the half-yard line. David Stone led the charge, but just nowhere to run.
Yeah, and this is like going up against a wall, the way these defenders, and the ball does get out as David Stone makes contact with the ball carrier. And it's very close, but a backed up punt is just as hard as it is trying to get the ball out of the 1-yard line in the end zone for this offense.
Durkin will have his heels on the end line. Satania stands back at the 40-yard line waiting for this punt. One step and punt. Satania fields it on the fly. Satania to the 20 and will run out of bounds at the 18-yard line. So a red zone opportunity coming up for the Sooners offensively, leading it by 30 with 7:37 to go here in the 3rd quarter. I tell you what, of all the things that, you know, you watch it on tape this week, getting ready. First time we've seen Oklahoma in person, but you know, you watch the games and you go, man, this defense is legit, this defense is real. When you see it in person,
yeah,
it's even better.
Yeah, it's even more impressive. And so many guys, like you mentioned, the depth on this defensive line, they're all getting involved, and it makes an impact whenever you can keep your guys fresh, rolling, and fast off of the ball snap.
They'll hand it off to Blaylock. He's inside the 10. They'll spot him around the 9. Boma there to make the tackle for Kent State. Again, it's Blaylock. He'll have the first down. Gets it to the 7-yard line. So 1st and goal now for the Sooners. Boy, this road has just been incredible for Kent State. Think about who they've had to play this year.
Yes.
You know, they got to do it. You know, I mean, you got to pay the bills. But, man, Texas Tech, Florida State, Oklahoma, 3 in your first 6 games. Here's Hawkins to the end zone. Touchdown, Oklahoma. Jaron Kanik with an outstanding block to free up his quarterback. A 7-yard touchdown run by Hawkins.
It's a great job by Kanik. As you watch him go, he's going to lead up and take on that block to be able to open the way for Michael Hawkins Jr. And then Michael Hawkins Jr. shows why he's such a dual threat quarterback. Puts them on in the end zone again. And he reads it, follows the block, and then explodes. 37-0, Sooners up big.
Michael Hawkins Sr. on the left, Michael Hawkins Jr. on the right. Proud papa on the left and a happy son on the right after he just scored the rushing touchdown from 7 yards out. Boy, it's got to be a thrill to watch your son play at the same school you played for, and just going to ball games back in the same building that you played in, all those things. Michael Hawkins Jr. playing in place of the injured John Mateer. Speaking of Michael Hawkins Sr., a quarterback here, played for Coach Stoops late in his career with a pick six right here, 45-yard pick six against Texas El Paso. Also spent a few years in the NFL with the Packers, Browns, a couple seasons with the Minnesota Vikings, and still looks like he can play.
Oh, yeah. Who do you think is faster in college? Was it senior or junior?
Oh, boy. I'm going to say, just because the training is different, Michael Hawkins Jr. is the only thing.
Bet you won't say it to senior's face.
No. You mean Mr. Hawkins? Yeah. Kent State out of the timeout, going to have to take a timeout. Don't forget, coming up tonight, we will wrap up our football coverage here on the SEC Network with a good one as 6th-ranked Texas A&M hosting and certainly a rejuvenated Mississippi State team from Kyle Field. It's also available on the ESPN app. You can watch it wherever you may be. Texas A&M certainly under the direction of Coach Elko at a super high level. I mean, when you think about Ole Miss sitting there at number 4, Oklahoma at 5, Texas A&M at 6. I mean, if you'd have had that sequence as the top 3 teams in the league a month ago, I want to follow you to Vegas.
You've been living right.
Ole Miss already 3-0 in conference play. That one's incomplete. Trying to hit Garcia with it.
And Karchman didn't have the opportunity to step into that throw to follow through. Again, David Stone, a name that we've called several times, making his presence felt as a pressure ended up in an incompletion for that Kent State Golden Flashes offense.
Karchman 7 of 14, 71 yards, no picks, no touchdowns. 2nd down and 10. Slings this one, and it is intercepted. The 2nd defensive turnover for the Oklahoma Sooners this afternoon, their 2nd of the season. Jaden Hardy comes up with this interception, the sophomore with his 1st pick.
Well, you know what they say, Dave, turnovers come in bunches. We already saw the strip sack by R. Mason Thomas in the touchdown. Now you get Hardy playing on the ball, becoming the receiver, securing the 2nd takeaway on the day and 2nd takeaway on the season. One-handed grab right there. Might need to check him out on the offensive side of the ball as well. Look at that, securing it in. Takeaway number 2 for this defense.
And again, a short field for the Sooners as they line up at the 30-yard line. Jaden Ott will work this series at running back. We'll split him out here to the near side, but Hawkins going to keep it himself. He's got some room to run. He's to the 20, and that'll be close to a 1st down. C.J. Young, the first Golden Flash defender there. Pickup of 11.
One-on-one opportunity with receiver up top.
They'll hand it off to Ott. Jaden Ott inside the 15. Kanan Williams there for the tackle. Hawkins' pass is caught by Deion Burks at the 10. It'll be 3rd down. And let's call it 2. Oklahoma on 3rd downs, 4 out of 8 today.
Alert quarterback draw. They have the look.
Well, just a little quarterback keeper trying to push the pile for the 1st down. They may have done it. Hawkins just walked up to the line of scrimmage like he was going to call some sort of audible or protection plan and took the snap.
When was the last time you've seen an under center snap by Oklahoma? It proved to be
well. They are
efficient.
wearing the throwback uniforms to Bud Wilkinson's day.
1985 team. Let's go.
Over the middle, right through the hands of Isaiah Satania.
Oh, and that's one you got to have. Michael Hawkins read it RPO. Linebackers come up, throws a dot, which was a laser to Isaiah Satania. Just right off the fingertips of his hands. That's a catch he can make and wishes he had back.
Second and goal. Quick throw to the outside, caught there. There's Satania diving for the end zone. Touchdown, Oklahoma.
And what I love about that play is Michael Hawkins Jr. says, hey, we didn't connect on the previous play. I'm going to throw it right back to you because I know you're dynamic and a playmaker for us. And Isaiah Satania showcases why he's brought in to be an explosive player for this offense.
$44-0 our new score here in Norman.
You take a look, one-on-one up top. Isaiah Satania catches the ball, makes the defender miss, and then lowers that shoulders to split the defense. And that's determination to get into the end zone, and why you go get a guy like him out of the transfer portal to make an immediate impact with this revamped wide receiver look.
He's had a couple of nice punt returns as well. Total 89 yards in that department, 2 touchdowns today. This is a young man, again, just first year here after transferring from Arkansas, but just a great athlete. Had back-to-back games with career yards. Had 97 against Temple, then answered back with 127 against Auburn. And has put together 75 more yards receiving today. Was a great receiver in high school. Led the country in receiving yards, by the way, as a senior in high school. Over 1,900 yards receiving. Also went on to become the Arkansas Gatorade High School Track and Field Athlete of the Year. Fair catch called for inside the 5-yard line by Kimbrough out to the 25-yard line. Time to get an update. Peter, what's going on, buddy? Thank you, buddy. Marcel Reed, 9 touchdown passes for Texas A&M. Kimbrough on that carry. So Ruffin comes in as the new quarterback, Deontay Ruffin. Looks like he'll take him the rest of the way here, as Devin Cardsman is done for the day, who got the start. Again, we felt like the top 2 quarterbacks until 30 minutes before the game were Drew DeShields and C.J. Montez, but neither one of them have played today. Oh, big collision. Kimbrough again hit by Kendall Dolby.
Kendall Dolby absolutely laid the wood on that play. You can hear the pop all the way up here in the booth, Dave. That's how physical that this team is playing. Another TFL on the opposite side of the line of scrimmage, and it puts this Kent State offense in 3rd and 13 with the way this defense has been playing. That's an improbable task.
Donovan Delaney in at running back on a 3rd down and 13. Just a straight handoff. Nothing doing on that play. Delaney stopped for no gain. Owen Heineke, the first one there. And that is a quick 3 and out. Clock moves closer to 2 minutes to go here in the 3rd quarter. Mark Carney, again, his team's just a brutal top half of the schedule. They can start working on some MAC games coming up. They've got a date with UMass next week. Try to make that their first FBS win in a few years. Timeout taken by Oklahoma.
Oklahoma takes its first timeout of the half. That's a 30-second timeout.
Time to take a look at For the Win, brought to you by Sanderson Farms. As we talk about what you think are the best teams in the league.
Yeah, right now, Ole Miss, I think that's undeniable. 3 wins in conference play, doing what they need to do. Alabama with an impressive victory over Georgia not too long ago. They're playing very well, and they're up 6 against Diego Pavia right now in Vanderbilt. And then Missouri Tigers, I don't think they've gotten enough credit, but offensively and defensively, they're playing some really good football right now.
Yeah, Missouri's kind of under the radar. Just dominating folks. Satania back to return this punt. And he is tackled at the 45-yard line. That is where the Sooners will have it. Let's see how much longer they roll with Michael Hawkins Jr. offensively. Obviously, want to get him enough snaps. You're not sure exactly when John Mateer is going to be back. Red River rivalry next Saturday.
Yep.
And it will be Hawkins for another series. Jade Knott is in the game at running back, but he splits out wide. They'll give him the football on the sweep. Trying to get the edge and can't do it. Strung out nicely by the Golden Flashes. Tevin Tucker will get credit for the tackle.
It appears as Tucker wasn't able to get back onto the field after that.
Hawkins looking to throw, slings it near side. Pass caught there by Zion Kearney. The sophomore, he dropped it.
Yeah, it was incomplete. He couldn't hang on to it right at the end. He got his hands on it, but just wasn't able to finish the catch. Right as he was trying to reel it in. And that's when you got to make those catches if you want to be on the field and making big-time plays.
Hawkins again near side. This one's incomplete. And just like that, it'll be a 4th and 11 coming up, and Oklahoma about to send out their punt team.
Yeah, the rhythm on that drive was thrown off with the first negative play on first down, not being able to get some positive yardage, and the 2 incompletions back-to-back is a rare sighting to see from this Oklahoma offense.
So Wayne Harris back to return this punt. Fair catch called for, but that one will bounce into the end zone. Don't forget, we've got a big top 10 battle in next week's featured women's volleyball matchups. Number 3 Kentucky takes on number 9 Texas A&M from College Station. Then Friday, the Magnolia State showdown between Ole Miss and Mississippi State at Starkville. Both matches begin at 7 Eastern right here on this very network. And of course, the all-new enhanced ESPN app. Matt Carney leading this Kent State team, gets the job late. Bringing his team here to Memorial Stadium for the 163rd consecutive sellout. Although the crowd has thinned considerably as we reach 1:01 to play in the third quarter. There is Ruffin. He gets down at the 29 before he's hit there. This Kent State team obviously trying to find some answers. I mean, listen, they struggled both sides of the ball. They picked up their first win in their opener, snapping a 22-game losing streak. And they beat Merrimack in their first game, and they're thinking maybe next week they can get win number 2. Here is Hicks. There is Coach Carney, of course, was the quarterback at Fordham for a number of years. You know, he told us a story like when he got recruited to Fordham, he had 3 different head coaches by the end of his first semester on campus. I've never heard of that.
That's incredible. I don't even know how you can do that.
Staying positive, that's his nature. Into the third quarter, back in a moment. You're watching SEC football presented by Sonic as we head to the fourth quarter here at Oklahoma Memorial Stadium. Boy, it's just been a gorgeous day here. A little breezy, but it has been all Oklahoma since we got this party started. 44-0 Sooners out in front. Oklahoma 302 yards of offense, just 74 for Kent State. And Fozzie, you said, doing the math, that basically they've lost 5 since halftime?
Yeah, at halftime they were at 79 yards of total offense, and the entire third quarter seems as though they were in the negative yardage territory.
Looking at a 3rd down and 8 here to start the fourth.
That's what I mentioned. Oklahoma showing pressure. You got 7 guys on the line of scrimmage.
Pressure comes. Ruffin just tosses it up, and that one is incomplete. There is a flag down at the 40. Cortland Guillory back there in coverage of Deshaun Martin.
Pass interference on the defense, number 4, 15-yard penalty. It is first down.
You can hear that wind howling. Matt Leffler's PA mic.
Yeah, and Guillory makes contact right before the ball is in the vicinity of the receiver. I believe if he turns his head around while still tracking the hip of the receiver, that call would not be called.
Deontay Ruffin, the freshman quarterback out of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Getting some run here against the Sooners. Speaking of run, there is no such thing for Kent State offensively today. Met by a horde of Sooner defenders.
Yeah, coming right off of the edge, you see unblocked defender and multiple defenders get in on the action after that. It's never a recipe for success as a running back to see a guy like that coming off the edge unblocked and free to attack.
Hicks in the game at running back. Ruffin takes it and falls forward close to the 45-yard line. Taylor Heim brings him down, but another 3rd down and 8. This Kent State team just 2 of 9 on 3rd downs today.
Last time we saw Oklahoma put 7 guys on the line of scrimmage and pressure with 0 coverage on the back end. They look a little more safe in this coverage this time.
Yeah, just rushing 4, dropping 7, high throw, and that one is incomplete.
And that ball is overthrown by Ruffin. He had his receiver, Berry, right on the inside. And usually tips and overthrows end up in the opposing team's hands. And Kent State's probably happy it didn't result in another turnover on their behalf.
Satania back to return this punt. Fair catch called for at the 15-yard line, and that's where the Sooners will have it. 13-18 to go. It's all Oklahoma.
SEC all day on ABC.
I'd say it's a pretty good day of football on ABC. You and I will be in Knoxville, Arkansas, coming to town. Bobby Petrino takes the reins of the Razorback football team. Oklahoma leading 44-0 as Whit Neubauer taking some snaps now here with 13:18 to go. Hands it off to Jaden Ott. Nothing doing there. Maybe a half a yard, but Whit Neubauer, the 6'6", 231-pound sophomore. He's out of Raleigh, North Carolina, but played last year at Mercer. Played 9 games, had 7 starts as a true freshman. Logan Howland being helped off the field to left tackle.
Yeah, and you'll take a look on the right side of the screen at the offensive line as the tackle's being made. Just gets rolled up. Howland gets rolled up on his leg, kind of in that ankle-knee area.
Keep it on the ground with Ott, just falls forward. Derek Jackson III trips him up. I'd say the one thing for Oklahoma today, they've rushed it for 140 plus yards, but it hasn't been a dominating run game today. I think maybe if you want to be nitpicky about things, the run game hasn't been as explosive maybe as they would have liked today. Pass caught on the outside. That one's going to Will Huggins. You know, next week certainly things get real.
And to your point about the run game having to be explosive and more a point of successful offenses, especially in this conference, is when the time calls for it to run the rock, you got to be able to do so on command. If you can rip off explosive plays, that makes it a lot easier to do that.
There's Jaden Ott on the first down carry. He'll pick up 7.5, maybe 8. DJ Barnes. See coming in just 3.6 yards per carry today, 4.4 yards per carry. On the flip side of things, again, nothing there for Ott, but on the flip side, this Kent State defense or offense has only rushed for 5 yards total today against Oklahoma's defense.
Yeah, if you want to talk about staggering numbers, well, that's the one that stands out. That 5 number is something that it's hard to be able to hold a team to 5 yards on a carry, let alone to be able to do that through 3.5 quarters of a game.
Neubauer will take it himself, and he'll be hit at the 35, but the big fella, remember that's 6'6", 230 right there.
And he made Jackson pay for coming downhill. Jackson's made a couple of plays in the run game against Jaden Ott. Well, Neubauer is not Jaden Ott. He has him by about 20 pounds and probably about 10 inches in height from a size differential. And Whit Neubauer kind of imposes his will on that last run play.
Blaylock in the game at running back. There's Huggins, the tight end, goes in motion. That one's batted in the air, and it's incomplete.
Yeah, the other aspect about the run game, Dave, is we all know that if you can run the ball effectively, it really opens up the playbook to have more at your disposal, and that's where this offense can really hit maximum efficiency.
Another quick hitter over the middle, and that'd be pass interference. Elijah Thomas, the intended receiver, the true freshman wideout.
Defender may have got
Passers defense, number 12. Ball be played to the spot of the foul. Automatic. First down.
Yeah, defender got there just a tad early. RPO read. You got counter. If the box is defended and you go for the pass, the defenders just drape all over Elijah Thomas, and easy call for the refs to make, being right there.
Neubauer keeps it himself. He'll pick up 9 yards. Well, it looked like a couple of Kent State defenders collided, and one of them is slow to get up. Derek Jackson. Looked like he hit his own teammate. So with that stoppage, we'll step aside as well. Back in a moment.
SEC football is presented by the Sonic Smasher. This month only, buy one and get a free large drink when you order in the Sonic app. And in part by T-Mobile 5G home internet.
Boy, you want to talk about quarterback U. There are 6 former Oklahoma quarterbacks starting in the NFL this week. Baker Mayfield, Kyler Murray, Jalen Hurts, Spencer Rattler, Caleb Williams, Dylan Gabriel. Now, I know they've all bounced around at different college teams, but at some point they played right here, Memorial Stadium.
Freaking Ballers Day.
That is an unbelievable group. Handoff goes to Torrey Blaylock. That'll be a first down carry. Samaj Cross will get credit for that tackle. So I'm curious, you know, now guys who can make money off their jerseys, right? The college kids, they used to not be able to do that back in your day. But so does Jalen Hurts or Baker Mayfield. They get money if Oklahoma sells a jersey?
Not a chance.
They got enough anyway, I guess. It doesn't really matter.
They're making NFL money now.
I always found that to be one of the most hypocritical things about college athletics. When you'd walk into any bookstore on a campus and the quarterback, it would just have, the quarterback was number 10.
With no
name on it. But every year, if the number changed for the starting quarterback,
so
that would be the
jersey.
And they would get nothing out of it.
Not the case anymore, Dave. These guys are well taken care of, and rightfully so. They should be.
By the way, I think this is this drive and maybe one other might be important for a lot of folks that are watching this game. The line on this game was, the last report I had, 46.5 coming right before kickoff. We're sitting here at 44 right now. Not that I pay attention to those things.
But here's Roy on the loop stunt, trying to show you up on the line. He said, hold on, you talking about the in-game number. Let me showcase what we can do before this game is over.
Neubauer steps up, fires. That one is incomplete. That'll force a punting situation for the Sooners.
What I did notice, though, is although the score is 44-0, several of these Kent State players are still playing really hard and playing as if there's something to play for. I think that's indicative of the culture Mark Carney's trying to create and get the thing headed in the right direction.
And look, let's face it, in today's college football world, you want to have good stuff on a tape. You never know what happens at the end of the year. That one bounces at the 10 and out of bounds. Oh my goodness, that trickled out of bounds inside the 1-yard line.
Grayson Miller, let's go. The David Stone celebration.
Coming right into your living room. 44-0 here in Norman, Oklahoma. 7:14 to go. Kent State backed up inside the 1-yard line. Kimbrough in the backfield alongside the freshman Deontay Ruffin at quarterback. They'll stand 5 yards deep in the end zone. Ruffin takes it himself, will fall forward for a couple of yards. Taylor Heim there to make the play for the Sooners. Oklahoma's defense came in giving up 9 points per game. That was second in the conference, third in the country. Ruffin. Aaron one out from the end zone, and this one is caught out over the 30-yard line. What a grab over there by Ardell Banks.
Not quite sure if the defender was able to locate the ball, but Banks does a good job of tracking it, going up and over and snatching it away. It's a big one-on-one play there by Banks to be able to capitalize and, most importantly, give these Golden Flashes some space to work with out of their own end zone.
Marcus Hicks in at running back now. And some movement by Kent State.
False start. Offense, number 21. 5-yard penalty. It is first down.
Ruffin dropped back at the 27-yard line. He'll lose a couple. Marcus Strong will get credit for that sack.
Yeah, Oklahoma's not sitting back on defense. They bring pressure. Marcus Strong beats his one-on-one, and his arm is strong enough. It only takes one arm to be able to bring down Ruffin for another sack by this Oklahoma defense.
Handoff goes to Kimbrough. He's out to the 35-yard line. 4 sacks today for this Oklahoma defense. They are now up to 20 this season. By the way, it's now a final down in Gainesville as Florida knocks off Texas 29-21. Ruffin. He's hit at the 45. It's Kobe Johnson with the collision for the Sooners. It'll be 4th down and 1. And he'll have the first down. By the way, those of you wondering about Arch Manning, he finished up 16 of 29, 263, 2 touchdowns, 2 picks. DJ Lagway, 21 of 28, 298, 2 touchdowns.
That's big for DJ Lagway. The sparkle in his eye is what Coach Napier said he had. Went out there and proved it in the swamp.
Pressure comes. Ruffin nowhere to go. Sack number 5 for the Sooners.
Yeah, heating them up again. You get to see Hine be the first, rough and sheds that tackler, but then Wine comes back in, a little Hine and Wine collaboration there to be able to finish off that sack and bring Ruffin and the Golden Flashes down yet again.
So Taylor Hine so frustrated he missed that sack. That gave an opportunity for his teammate Taylor Wine to pick up the sack. Clock moving closer and closer to 2 minutes.
Guess what? It's 3rd down again, Dave.
They're just going to let this clock wind down to the 2-minute timeout. Oklahoma with certainly their eyes beginning to peek toward Dallas, Texas. The Red River rivalry next Saturday. Certainly Vanderbilt, much better football team than anybody might have expected. But Alabama is starting to look like Alabama. And that is a tough ask for anybody to go into Tuscaloosa and do that.
Especially wearing the black hoodie.
High throw near midfield. It'll be 4th down and about 8 coming up for Kent State. Keep that offense out on the field. Again, the Sooners trying to get that football back Kent State trying to close this game out, keep it 44-0. Again, the line.
Expect pressure? Is that what we're saying?
I don't know. I don't know who's paying attention to what.
I expect pressure to force the ball out quickly since it's 4th down and keep it before the sticks.
Here's pressure. Ruffin hit as he throws. Pass is caught but shy of the line to gain at the 45, and that is not good enough. They needed to get it to the 43, and that is a turnover on downs with 1:06 to play. But I got to think that the Sooners will just run this clock out.
I'm of the right mind. They take a knee here.
Yeah. Oklahoma going to have their second shutout under Brent Venables. Previous was back in 2023 when they beat Arkansas State 73-0.
Oh, this is not take a knee formation either.
No, it is not. Well, the guy to my right knows something about the Texas-Oklahoma rivalry. That is Mr. Fozzie Whitaker right there. Played in that game a couple of years. Look at my guy go.
Had a lot of fun in this game. It means so much to both of these programs to be able to play in that game, and so much is on the line in that rivalry. It's awesome.
Carry all the way down to the 35-yard line. Gabe Sawchuk with that carry. You know something about this guy, too. You guys played against each other. DeMarco Murray, the running back coach here at Oklahoma.
Yeah, a couple of times, obviously, met up in Dallas, and then obviously a few times in the NFL, as well as he was a prominent member of the Cowboys. I played with the Panthers, so we met up with them a few times in the NFC. So it's awesome to see him doing well, got a stable of running backs, and the rivalry lives on. It's one of the best in the game.
The Sooners will post the shutout. They win it 44-0 over Kent State. Michael Hawkins Jr. got the start today, and Michael finishes up 14 of 24, 162, 3 touchdowns and no interceptions. Blaylock led him on ground with 78 yards rushing. Oklahoma's defense held Kent State to just 17 yards rushing, and they're averaging 9 points a game coming in allowed. That'll dip down to about 6.5 after today.
Yes, sir. After getting 5 sacks defensively as well, this is what this Oklahoma team prides itself on.
So for Fozzie Whitaker, Morgan Uber, the rest of our crew, I'm Dave Neal saying so long from Norman, Oklahoma. The Sooners win it 44-0. Time to get you to the studio. Peter?